This is my Fashashka on The Walking Dead. I'm calling it the Train of Pain because all the images in this game that I've collected here are painful moments for me. It kind of speaks to the idea that Jan has shared with us before about how play and is not always fun. Sometimes it's painful. With that train image, that title screen was pretty painful looking to me when I first came across it, and it was startling. It reminded me of Blame the Train from Stephen King's book, from his Dark Tower series book, and this Stephen King title is very similar to the title that was in the Walking Dead section. This first image, it was painful for me to have to brain this girl who obviously was the babysitter right in front of Clementine. Granted, Clementine helped, but at the same time there wasn't that emotional fallout that I really expected. But anyways, this was painful. I think everybody can agree with that, trying to decide who was going to live and who was going to die. I mean, granted, when you were choosing at the time, you may or may not have known which was, you didn't know if they were both going to make it or both die, depending on your choice. And then one thing that was really painful is that afterwards, the characters would ask, why did you choose one person over another? It just drove me nuts. I knew why the game did it, but at the same time, it drove me nuts. This scene with they're in the Macon drugstore, and this scene was hard for me mainly because there was so much high energy and you didn't know what was going to happen, what decision was going to be made as far as throwing Duck out. And then also I had people walking in the house trying to talk to me at the same time, and it's like, I'm trying to follow this and I can't pause it. And so that was painful. This one, giving this girl the gun, I did give her the gun, was painful mainly because all the effort to save her was wasted, and then also Max and Carly's reaction to me giving her the gun. Also with this scene, this is where Lee is killing his zombie brother, and the amount of times I had to swing that axe to kill him was ridiculous. And really, he should have used the other end of he should have flipped the axe around and then just went for the brain. That would have made it so much quicker. Again, another choice, and this one, outside of the game, there's more fallout for who you choose. The girl who can shoot, or the nerd who can potentially whiz-kid his way out of anything. Again, you have the why'd you pick me thing, but both those were all frustrating. Luckily, after this one, I didn't really come across that problem again. This one, again, how many times does it take for you to chop through this guy's leg? I mean, I was just about tempted to put the guy out of his misery instead of trying to finish the leg. Of course, I don't know if the game would actually let me do that, but it was a thought. This one, I've played the game very neutrally because I didn't know exactly how Lee was going to voice his responses, and I got flack for it, especially from Kenny, saying it might feel safe for you to sit on the fence, but sooner or later you're going to have to decide whose side you're on. And I understood what he was saying, but then again, I also know Lee's responses weren't always in tune with what I would expect them to. This scene was frustrating because I thought Clementine was in the back room. So, I mean, me killing this guy, I mean, it saves future people who come to this farm. But Clementine didn't need to see that. This one, obviously, Duck being bit, that was sad. That was painful, especially since he'd already survived the accusations of being bit in the Macon store. So. Sad. And then Carly being killed. That shouldn't have happened. And then Katja killing herself. I mean, she was very valuable to the team. I mean, Carly was too, but she elected to kill herself. That's sad. This guy, all of his screw-ups were quite painful, especially since I was trying to give him benefit of the doubt most of the time. When it came time to choose to pull Ben up or let him go, I ended up choosing to let him go because he was begging me to let him go. Plus he had screwed up, and I felt like he just didn't have a will to live, and if you're having to pull somebody around who doesn't have a will to live, it's not going to help anything. So I ended up letting him go and then found out he still had a will to live, and it hurt. Then of course you've got Kenny saying that Lee stepped up and did what he had to, and then Clementine's reaction, that was painful. I think if I were actually in that situation, I'd have had meaner words to say to Kenny. But anyways, so in this little slide here, at least hopefully Clementine and Lee get to survive all of this. Maybe. Kinda. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything more to that. And that's it. Thanks for watching my Pashashka on The Walking Dead.